Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review for the Dollhouse people.
Badoop.
England, 1979. A package is delivered to a family home to a little girl named Alice, specifically to Alice. It was bequeathed to her by a great aunt who died that she didn't even know she had, and neither did her mother. And it's just this creepy old house. The mother is extremely excited for her daughter to have this new antique family heirloom, and the father looks at it as a great opportunity to make some money. It's old, it's probably worth a lot of money. He wants to sell it and just take whatever he can get for it. And the mother's like, no, this is hers. Also, there's a random stray cat that just wanders into that house, and the dad's like, get it out. The dad has a very abusive personality. As the years go by, the father abuses the mother, and the daughter has to see it. The daughter finds solace in playing with her toy dollhouse, which talks back to her. One day she's having a really hard time, and the mother of the dollhouse says, why don't you come in and hang out? And she's like, I'm too big. And she's just like, say these words and you can come in. The daughter says this phrase and shrinks down to tiny size and goes inside the dollhouse and has fun with the family. And then we flash to the past. It is still England. It is 1826, and we meet Joseph. He is a surveyor slash cartographer, and he stumbles onto a cave in which his friend, who he is with, says, we shouldn't go in there. And he's just like, I'll be back in a minute. Well, he gets lost. And in his days of being lost in this cave, he comes upon a cavern, a great, vast cavern, where he sees a sleeping giant, and he's like, where am I? What is going on? And then this really attractive woman comes, and she's like, hello, we're gonna have sex. So they have sex. And that is all I can tell you of either side of the storyline without completely ruining it for you. This was actually a recommendation by my friend Abby, and I'm really glad that I read it, but it creeped me out to my core because I don't do dolls or dollhouses or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and go into my pros and cons, and we're going to start with a con so we end on a good note. It came to a climax a little bit too quickly for me. I felt like there could have been a little bit more. I am not a writer, so I wouldn't have known how to do that, but I felt like it should have been harder to get to that climax, harder to figure out. Pros. It was downright creepy. Like I said earlier, I don't do dolls, I don't do doll houses, I don't do any of that, so it was just super creepy for me. You had creepy doll people, you had a creepy house. The creepy doll house was kind of sentient. It was evil. Everything was evil. And then you had like legitimate evil beings in the past from where Alice was. And it just the way it all tied together was really perfect. But it was creepy. Oh, another thing is that there you're flipping between the present and the past, and the way that the book did that was really good, and I really enjoyed that in the book. But something that made it stand apart was that not only are you going from present to past in real time, but you're actually seeing flashbacks to the past while you're in the present too, which I thought was extremely well done. Another thing is the art style. The art was well done. The panels were laid out really well, and I read it on my phone, so I did a lot of, skimming back and forth, but I can imagine if you're flipping a page, it would have been beautiful to turn. I wish I could have done that. I slid. A few of the things that I really enjoy about the artwork are, one, the lines. They're thin and crisp, but not completely straight a lot of the time. The ones that stretch from top to bottom of the panel can sometimes have a slight wave in it. These lines allow the artist to give you more detail, which I think is great in something like this, especially in a world like this where you have to look at pretty much everything. The shading is more often than not done in a crosshatch pattern, which for me, for graphic novels with the smaller lines, it's one of the better ways to go. Sometimes in graphic novels, they'll do a lot of their shading with color. This does happen here, but not as frequently. Another thing that I really like is the detail, just the detail in their faces. Their facial expressions are great. And when you're looking at the image and reading the words, and it just makes you feel like they're more alive, and that's really cool. And the last thing that I really like about the artwork is the muted colors. The muted colors make it feel dark and gritty and give you that horror vibe. And then occasionally you'll find yourself with a red or a pink or sometimes a purple that is just a little bit brighter, so that way it just pops off the page. And then this can convey how a character's feeling or how the situation is. And I love seeing that in a graphic novel with lots of color. My last pro would be the ending. The ending was dark and gory, but then there's some time travel, time slippiness, which I know I enjoy. You might enjoy if you watch my videos and know that time travel is awesome. The villain got what they deserved. It was one of those things that you weren't expecting anyone to have a happy ending, but there was a happy ending, but like in a way where it was still gruesome and creepy. So I really, really enjoyed the ending. And that is all I can think to say about this graphic novel. So please go ahead and pick it up. I highly, highly recommend picking this one up. Even though October's over, you can still read creepy stuff. And if you don't like dolls, I highly recommend it if you don't like dolls. Because I don't like dolls and I really, really like this one. So I really hope you guys have a really good day. Bye.